today's gardening and prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you out into the woods on this adventure. Behind me, I don't know if you can see all of them. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, huge stand that goes way, way back of one plant that a lot of people call invasive, but it's only because it's not being harvested. We're going to be talking about horsetail reed and its uses today. For the moment, I'm harvesting the wild growing horsetail reed because I'm going to teach you how to make a homemade shampoo that will help to not only grow your hair, but it's good for your nails, it's good for your bones, your teeth, so many wonderful things. This is a young horsetail reed. And Native Americans used to use it as well. A lot of your early settlers, this is also known as scouring rush. See, it comes apart at the segments here. And of course you'd use the thicker ones for the scouring rush, but you bind together a whole lot of them, and you can use them to scrub pots and dishes and everything. But a lot of people don't know this is high and one of the highest plants in natural silica. Now, I'm going to be using it in a homemade shampoo recipe and a hair rinse as well. This will help grow your hair, everyone. Also, if you wanted to, you can also harvest it, dry it, powder it up, put it into capsules and take it internally as well. You can also make a tea out of it. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not the greatest tea on earth, but it works wonders for many, many things, and I'll go into more detail in the description box below, as well as in the video later on. Right now, I want to get some harvested. Now, I've already made my offerings, because that is how I was trained to do so. If you don't do it, that's on you. I was trained differently. This is easy to harvest. Now, of course, you can use pliers. Now, you have to watch out for snakes, but don't let that discourage you. See, it just breaks apart. And you can startle a frog, which I saw him hop off. Now, when you're harvesting it, you want to get the big ones, the little ones, the medium-sized ones. You want to change up. That's not what I wanted to do. So now, it's time to get the clippers out. Now, like I said, it can be very evasive, but if you keep up with it and harvest it and use it, it will thank you for it, and you can control it. I'm going to get some young ones. I am so happy to be able to harvest them. extremely medicinal plant. And another very misunderstood one. I want to get some of these young ones. And see, wherever you cut it, it's going to shoot up off the side, new shoots. I have enough, so I will see you back at the shed of many names after a while. Here is the other side, and it goes back as far as the eyes can see. It follows this small little creek that has to be spring fed because we haven't had rain in so long, so it's got to be a spring fed creek for it to have running water in it. But look, there's thousands of them, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful sight. But they spread on into the back. Just gorgeous. And I'll see y'all after a while. Hello and welcome back to the shed of many names this evening. This is part 2 of the Horsetail Reed herbal hair products. Y'all have been asking for herbal beauty products for a while, and here we go. Now, this can be used in men's or women's hair. Children as well, if you can get them to sit still long enough. Now, this is a horsetail reed here. This is a section of it. And this is what I was trying to tell people. Wherever you cut it off, it will send up more little sections. Now this I didn't cut off. It got cut down somehow. And any brown you're going to want to remove. But see, it sends up more. It's wonderful. And here's another segment. Now I have left over on purpose horsetail reed so we can make this. Now this is a simple recipe, a lot more simple than the shampoo recipe. Now, all you're going to need, horsetail reed, preferably fresh with this one. If you have dried, then you just have to use it. But if you can gather fresh, it's going to be a whole lot better. Apple cider vinegar. And that's it. Now this is a rinse. This is for after you've either washed your hair with the horsetail reed and stinging nettle shampoo or any other shampoo. Now, preferably, this one is one that you leave in your hair. Now, you will smell like vinegar for a little while, but once your hair dries, the vinegar smell will evaporate as well. And it will nourish not only your hair, your skin. It's wonderful, and it can and will usually cause your hair to grow. Now, what you would do is wash your hair, towel dry it, and you will want to put this in a spritzer bottle, half and half with water. Half of the horsetail reed vinegar once it's done, and half water. And purified water if possible. So all you're going to do, let me turn the camera down, is cut up in the segments your horsetail reed. Now, if you see these little pieces here, don't worry about that. That's still part of the horsetail reed. That's just where it breaks up at the segments. Now, if it has sit for about a day, so it's going to get a little less crispy, but when you do it while it's still fresh, I find it fun because it sounds crunchy. Alright, now you can do, I wouldn't do a pint because that's really not enough to mess with. I do either a quart or me being me, it's a half a gallon. And you're just going to put your segmented horsetail reed down in your jar. And of course, you want to make sure that your jar is clean and sanitized. Uh-oh. Ah, saw you. And I have enough that I will let air dry. Now, let me bring one out to show you. One thing you have to remember, your horsetail reed is hollow. Now, when you put your vinegar in, you got to make sure that you agitate it around because you want to make sure that the vinegar gets into the horsetail reed. And unfortunately, this was the only size vinegar I could get a hold of. Could not get the gallon size jars, which was extremely aggravating to say the least. Oh, that vinegar smells good. Now, of course, they're going to float, and they're going to float very well. This is what you have to keep an eye on. You put your lid on, and you're going to agitate it. You want to try to make sure that all those segments of reed get vinegar up in them. Because eventually it will. But you want to try to make sure those air pockets in the reed gets filled up. And as you can see, that vinegar level went down quite a bit because I had it almost filled to the top. Horsetail reed is tricky to work with. It's easy to work with, but you have to keep an eye on it because you want to make sure that it is completely filled. All of the little, I like to call them little tubes, the little segments of the horsetail reed gets vinegar in them. Now don't worry, just keep an eye on it. When your vinegar, as you agitate it and your vinegar level goes down, just continue to put vinegar in there. It will be fine. Now they're going to float up. This is one you want to try to agitate every day to keep an eye on it, because you don't want these pieces to stay on top for very long. Alright, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. I forgot to have my, since this is pure vinegar, I forgot to get my piece of plastic to put over the top. I've already wiped my rim off because this isn't like making pickles. This is straight vinegar. It will corrode your lid very fast. And pickles, or using anything vinegar based, it's usually watered down. And this is definitely not. Now, you want to put this in a cool, dark place for 8 weeks. It's just like making a tincture. You're infusing the vinegar with the horsetail reed. Now, every day you're going to want to check it, agitate it, because not all of these tubes have vinegar in them, but they will. And you'll see your vinegar level go down. Just add more vinegar to keep it up by the rim. Now you're going to want to label it. Of course, you know it's obvious what it is, but still practice safety. That way you know exactly what it is. Horsetail reed vinegar. And this is 10/1/22. I get used to putting a new date, a new month on there. And this year is flying by way too fast. And there you have it. And of course I will have more nutrient and medicinal benefits of the horsetail reed in my description box below. This is going to be amazing for your hair. It does help your hair to get stronger and to grow. Now, is it going to grow like crazy overnight? No, but it does help it to grow. Like I said, 8 weeks in a dark, cool place. Agitate it daily. Check your vinegar level. If it goes down, add more to it. Simple, easy. Anybody can do this and make all natural beauty products that will not be full of chemicals. Not full of chemicals, people. Get the chemicals out of your body and you'll live longer, healthier lives like our ancestors did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. I will answer them as soon as possible. Homemade and healthy. And your hair and your scalp will thank you for this. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Y'all stay safe and sound. Stay positive. Keep stocking your pantries with as much food as possible. Nutritious food that will sustain you. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. May you each be blessed. And I'll see you soon. Take care.